The following episode of Dad vs. Daughter is made possible by a contribution from Mattel Games.
Ghost Fightin Treasure Hunters from Mattel Games is a game for 2 to 4 players. We kind of treat this as it is pandemic with ghosts. We're going to be going into a haunted house. We're going to try to collect gems and get them out of the house in order so that we can win cooperatively. We're going to be fighting ghosts. We're going to try not to be caught in haunted rooms where we're not going to be able to move, and then make sure we all win, because the game says it's everybody versus the ghost. Work together to win. So let's see what Dad's game group thinks of this, as this is our lunchtime game. I have the game set up for 2 players. The setup is we start with a ghost in rooms C, F, I, and L. And one of the reminders that we know that is because the ghost symbol on those rooms has a light green circle around it. You'll see that the normal ghost spots are just basically a kind of a light green dot. So after we have the ghosts in their rooms, we take all of the gem tokens. These are labeled 1 through 8, and we're going to shuffle these up. Those will be placed in all of the rooms that have a red letter. So A, C, D, E, G, J, I, and L. So we shuffle those up. We place one of those, and they're face down, so we don't know what their value is. And that's really all there is to setup. We've shuffled the deck of cards, and now we're ready to start. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to roll this white movement die. And it is actually pretty cool. It goes from 1 to 6, and 1 through 5 each have a little ghost on there. That indicates that you need to draw one of the cards from the deck. But the 6 does not have a ghost on there. So whenever we roll a 6, then we don't have to draw a card from that deck. So after we've rolled this die and we see that there is a ghost on there, we will take the top card of the deck and we see that it is an A. So we place the card in the discard pile. We take one of our neat little ghosts from the supply and we'll put it in that room. So we will put it in room A. Now we can move our little ghost fighting treasure hunter the number of spaces up to what the die says. So this just says 1, so my green guy can just move 1. So he's basically going from outside the house into the house. If we were in a room, say on a subsequent turn, we were there, after we move, then we can flip this up and see what number it is. Now in the advanced game, you have to get the gems out of the house in order. So this is a 3. I don't need to get that one out right away. I still need to look through the entire house and try to find the one that is a number 1, because you have to get those gems out in order from 1 to 8. Now I can pick that one up, but obviously I don't want to, because in a 2-player game with only 2 of you, you need to both try to find that number 1 and then the number 2 and get those out first before you have the number 3. However, we do know where the number 3 is at. So let's just say a couple of turns have gone by and I end my turn in this room. And you can see that there is a ghost there. So let's just say I flip this one up. That is a 2. That's not bad. I might try to grab that one and let the other player try to go for the number 1. But when you end your turn in a room with a ghost, you have to fight the ghosts. The way you do that, you have this black die, and it has a ghost symbol on it, it has a haunt symbol on it, and then it has also a blank. But you'll see that it's got 2 of the haunt ones, and is there two blanks, or is there only 1 blank? It looks like there's only 1 blank. So you want to roll that. If you roll a blank, or if you roll the haunt, nothing happens. However, let's just say that I rolled a ghost. I can then remove that ghost from the board. It just goes back into the supply. And now I have cleared that room. The reason why you want to fight the ghosts and get them cleared is because over time, let's just say that there were 2 ghosts in that room, and say we flipped over a card that had the letter L. since there are already 2 ghosts in this room, instead of adding a third ghost, I remove these 2, and now I place the red haunt symbol. Oh, really scary. So he will go there. Now, if I had a gem in my backpack, like that, I could not move from this room. I would have to get my other player to come over and we try to unhaunt the room. Now, the way we do that is, let's just say that he had come over here. Now we can roll 2 dice. So we want to get 1 red symbol up. In this case, we actually got 2 red symbols. So we can remove him from the game board. Now, if we were ever to get 6 of these in the house, then we would lose. So you want to try to keep these from getting out of hand. And also, when you start seeing a lot of rooms that have 2 ghosts, you probably want to think about clearing those out, because once these cards start coming up and you get that letter, you're going to start getting more haunts. So let's say that if we flipped over a card on another turn that had the letter I, we already have a haunt token in I. So what we would do is we would go to the next letter in the alphabet, which would be J, and we would place one of our ghosts in that room. So let's say this is a future turn, and we end our turn in this room G. We would flip over that token. It's a 1. Since we want to get these out in numeric order, we put that in our backpack. Now I'll show you on these. This is pretty neat. You know, the backpack's got a little slot there. These fit right in just like that, so we can see what they are. So now he has the first gem in his backpack. What he's going to want to do then is, on subsequent turns, is basically get all the way out. Once he gets out of the house, just take that gem, put it down, just say there, just so we know we've got the number 1 out. Now let's say that this guy wants to get the number 2. So let's just say he already had that in his backpack. Now he's going to get out once he moves all the way out of the house, places that there, and so on. You're going to go until you can get all 8 out of the house. So our deck of cards has not only room cards in them, but they also have certain special cards. And I will give you a glimpse of what these are. So this is a shuffle. So whenever we have to reveal a card, if this card comes up, that means we don't actually place a ghost that turn, but what we will do is we will take all the cards in the discard pile, we will shuffle them all back into the deck, and then we basically have done a reset. We have a green door card. When this comes up, what this means is all of the green doors that are on the board are now locked. So you'll see we have blue, there's a green door. We have plenty of blue and green doors around. But what we do is we would take this card and we would just put it next to the discard pile there to show that all of the green doors are locked. Now that green door is going to, or all the green doors in the house are going to stay locked until 2 things happen. Either we draw another door card, which the only other door card is the blue, and that's going to act just like the green. So then what would happen is we would take this green card, put it in the discard space, and now place the blue card next to that, just so that we know that the blue doors are locked. Now, if we get the shuffle card that comes up, then what we will do is we will take that card, we'll put it in the discard, we'll shuffle everything back up, and now all the doors in the house are unlocked. So we have 2 cards left that I want to talk about. They are called the draw and shuffle. So we have this neat little guy here, and he's holding up 2 fingers, and you'll also notice that he's showing that the cards shuffle there as well. So what that means is when he comes up, so he'll come up and we have him in the discard, we have to now flip 2 cards. So we have an L, so we place a ghost in the L room, and now we have to flip another card, which we have K, so we will put a ghost in the K room. Now, that's not the only draw and shuffle card. There's actually another one that actually is a little meaner, and that is the draw 3 and shuffle. So just like the draw 2, we would have to draw 3 cards. So we would draw the G, place a ghost in G, draw, there's an F, And finally, we would draw a B. So we place a ghost in B. Now what we would do is then take all these cards, shuffle them back up, and now we have a new draw deck. So what that's going to mean is these cards that we've already flipped over and put ghosts in, now we have another chance of drawing those, which would cause a haunt. So say if we got the F card that flipped over, we would then have to put a haunt item or haunt token in that room. And that really is all there is to Ghost Fightin' Treasure Hunters. It's basically run around, get the gems out in order, try to keep the ghosts under control so that you don't get 6 of the haunt tokens. So now let's get to what Dad's lunch group thinks of this. The nice thing about this game is it actually plays fairly quickly. There's not really a lot of decisions. It is a roll and move. The thing that the rolling part with this die is you have to draw a card. And that gives the game a feel of pandemic. In fact, we actually call this Ghost Pandemic because of how when you start adding more ghosts to a room and then you have to add another one, then you replace it with one of the haunt guys. So that's kind of like an outbreak. We don't like it when the draw and shuffle guys come up, obviously, because then it starts populating the rooms like crazy. In fact, that was one of the things we noticed in the games that we've played is that if you don't take care of these ghosts and you have 2 of these in there, they actually start kicking off the haunts real quick. In fact, the game we played the other day, I think we had within 3 turns, we were at a situation like this where we already had 3 haunts come out, and then boom, 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 all the ghosts hit and added 3 more haunts just like that, and we lost the game. So something you got to keep aware of when you do that. The gameplay is very light, so there's, like I said, not a lot of thought that's involved. It's pretty much you're talking amongst yourselves. Hey, you go take care of this. I'll try to find the gems. So it's very much cooperative. The real key is to try to work together and keep these rooms cleared, and then go in and get these haunts removed if you can, as well as getting out of the house, with the gems as fast as you can and going in. One of the things I didn't mention is that you can actually get blocked. So let's just say that this was a situation that we had, and the green player rolled a 2. They cannot actually end their turn on the same spot as another treasure hunter. They have to actually be able to go around them if possible. So if I was here, I would not be able to go over this person. I would only be able to take one of my spots. Now, also about the movement, when you move into a room, that single room movement is only 1. So it doesn't matter. I could go from here to here, and that would only cost me 1 move. But the components are really good. These molded plastic haunt things are neat. The ghosts, I think, are actually the coolest. These kind of look like Shy Guy from Mario. They got this green looking, almost a glow look to them. So they're pretty cool. The only complaint I have about these is they have a tendency to fall over. They're almost top heavy, and if you bump, they generally just kind of fall flat on their face. But they're ghosts. They can do that. But I would not consider this to be a gateway game. I think it's more simplistic than that. But this is a great game to play, especially with non-gamers and younger gamers, because this kind of introduces them to that the cooperative element. It introduces them to the pandemic type of element where things are kicking off other things. You're drawing every turn usually, unless you get to 6, drawing from the deck and flipping cards over. The artwork, I think, on the board is serviceable, and the cards, when you look at the ghosts, they actually create a little scene of where they're at. So like in E, you can see these 2 ghosts are in bed. You can see that E is the bedroom. You have I, which The guy's holding a little gun. It's almost like a trophy room. And if you look here, you see like a bearskin rug. You see the gun there that the ghost is holding. So there's visual keys that tie each of the pictures in. So let me just kind of show you what those look like. I know I did it in our unboxing, but this way you can kind of get a really good feel for what that looks like. So I've already showed you I, and I've already showed you E. So D, he's playing pool in the D room. You see a pool table. C is like a toy room. You can see like a dollhouse. So if you look at the art on that, on the room C, you can see the little toys. You can actually even see the dollhouse right up there. So all the cards are like that, and they're really kind of goofy looking. So they're not scary. But this is kind of a spooky little theme. But like I said, the components are really good. They're nice detailed on the little dudes here. I like the little backpack notch to carry the gem in. I think that's a nice touch. But overall, we enjoyed the game. Like I said, it's not really geared to my group because we're looking for something meatier. But for a lunch game, it wasn't bad. I don't think anybody had anything that was real negative about it, other than this is more of a kids type game. But we had fun as adults, and that's the bottom line, right? You have fun playing a game. So that is Ghost Fightin' Treasure Hunters, and we will catch you guys next time. So I didn't actually cover the insert in the review, so this is why this is kind of one of those bonus features, because Dad forgot. But I think the insert is actually really cool. You see, this is where the haunt guys go, because that's really what they look like. I know you can't really tell very well on camera there. Here's your little Shy Guy ghost well. You got your spots for the dice, you got your spots for the gems, for the cards, and a well that not really sure what this is for unless they come out with an expansion. And then the guys fit really neat in there. So and then the board fits right on top to hold everything together. So it's a pretty good insert. If you would like to support us, you can visit patreon.com/dadvdaughter.
Like and follow us on Facebook to stay current on our show schedule, sneak peeks at future shows, and to interact with us.